Glad I got here safely. I drove myself. My husband usually drives, but he's on timeout because of his road rage, which is very bad, that he is in denial over. He's always like, I don't have road rage. Stop saying that. I don't have road rage. And I'm like, oh no? Then why did we just follow this stranger to Bakersfield? I like that this is an early-ish show. I'm not a night owl anymore. I'm kind of at a weird age where I'm not a night owl anymore, but I'm not an early bird either. So there's no good time to invite me to anything. You know what I mean? My friend was like, I'm having a birthday on Saturday at 10. You should come. And I was like, PM? And she was like, oh, no. And I was like, AM? Oh, my God. That's worse. That's worse. That's worse. All right, I'm done. Thank you, guys. I like to take it easy now. I don't like to run around. You know, I'm married. I like to chill. Got a lot of single girlfriends, and they're always running around. I'm all at a stand-up show, at this gala, at this restaurant opening, whatever it is, you know. And I'm like, I'm married. I don't have to do that stuff anymore. And then recently, my husband was like, you know, our friend's putting on his one-man play at the local theater. Do you want to go? I was like, I married you, so we didn't have to do this shit anymore, okay? Let's just have a nice night at home watching movies on our separate laptops, okay? We got a good system going. I don't like couples that do a lot of PDA, public displays of affection. It's not that I don't like it, but if it's really excessive, you know, you got like one couple sharing a chair even though there's a bunch of empty chairs, I know that's a sign of an insecure couple, okay? Emotionally, they're falling apart. So physically, they're just holding on real tight, you know, because the bond's not good. Meanwhile, my husband and I, our bond is so strong that we don't touch anymore. We've evolved to another level of love that you guys don't know anything about, okay? We don't even spend time together anymore. No, we do spend time together. We actually just took our honeymoon finally, which is very fun. Thank you. But we're not a new couple. I don't want to mislead you. We've been together between marriage and dating for 12 years. And we just got around to taking our honeymoon. So that's not the same as a little fresh spring chicken couple on their honeymoon, right? Like, we had this beautiful, sexy waterfront resort, Mexico, and once a day in our room on our honeymoon, we would have oatmeal hour. You guys stay regular on vacation, you guys. Colon cancer is real at my age, okay? So once a day we would have oatmeal hour, but one day oatmeal hour coincided with sex hour. Everything has an hour, don't worry about it. Anyways, and we were trying to figure out, like, should we have oatmeal before the sex or after the sex? And I said, I think we should wait till after the sex so we're not too full. And he said, I think we should have it before because it's already getting cold. And I said, hey, words still fun, right? He was like, I think we should do some weirder sex stuff. It's our honeymoon, right? Break out, do something a little kinkier, get a little weird. And I was like, well, what do you think that we should do? And then we proceeded to just have a little writer's room on sex stuff. My husband was like, what about feet stuff? People are into feet stuff. And I said, well, I got a lot of Band-Aids on my toes right now, so he was like, what about BDSM, little collar and dog leash? Some people like to wear a collar and dog leash and be led around. And I was like, we could. I didn't pack any of our dog's leashes, though, for the trip. He was like, you don't use one of your pet's leashes, you buy a different leash. We're not buying new leashes for this. We got plenty of leashes at home, okay? I'm the same size as our poodle, I checked. I'm gonna order more sex leashes. We're on a fucking budget around here, okay? One of my younger, kinkier friends who's really in the kink community told me that there is a thing in the kink community where people wear clothes or certain nail polish, accessories that indicates what they're into in sex. Just lets everyone know what they're into in sex. I'm like, why do we need to wear things that lets everyone know what we're into in sex? I don't want to do that. There's a reason I'm not up here in a reverse cowgirl hat, okay? So you caught we had sex hour, so we schedule sex. And my single friends make fun of me for it, right? They're like, that's so lame. But then I'll be hanging out with them, and some dude that they're banging will text them at like midnight, and he'll be like, can you come over in 45 minutes? I'm like, you're scheduling sex, by the way. That's what you're doing right now. Yeah, you just get the graveyard shift. I get mine during business hours. It's better. Better deal. Sometimes my friends are like, you really should stop scheduling, though. Have you tried just being spontaneous? And I was like, We did. One time we were like, let's just wait until the mood strikes. We'll do that. And we didn't fuck for 4 years. You gotta get it on the books. A lot of people try to figure out why sex can slow down in marriage. I know the answer, if you guys wanna know. It's very simple. It's just that you need to be in a good mood to have sex, and it's hard to be in a good mood the longer you're alive. I once said to my husband in bed, quick, let's bang before the sadness comes back. We're not having kids, and there's a lot of people online that get mad at me for being a child-free woman. They're like, you're not contributing to the social security systems, you're not carrying your weight. And I'm like, you don't know what I'm up to out here, okay? I'm not having kids, but I am pressuring other women to have them, okay? I'm even meddling a little bit, okay? My one friend, her and her husband made 2 very beautiful, healthy kids. Now she wants him to have a vasectomy. She wants to be done, you know what I mean? And she'll be like, oh, I scheduled his vasectomy. I'm like, oh, that's fabulous. Where is it? When is it? And she'll tell me, and I'll just call and cancel it. She's like, they keep losing our appointments. I'm like, well, you know the medical system's fucked. I mean, the Luigi thing, it's not good. You guys, I'm making 3 kids right now, okay? I'm not personally making them. I'm outsourcing my quotas, but I'm working on it. Don't worry about me, I'm doing it. And I know it's a privilege to choose to be child-free. I know it. Thousands of years ago, this was not an option. Communities had all of 100, 150 people, tops. Everybody had a role. You either needed to hunt for the people, guard the people, or make the people, okay? You think back then I could have been like, oh yeah, I was just thinking I would just sort of hang out. Sort of bring these vibes to the cave, you know? I had a pretty weird week, almost didn't come. I saw my neighbor die of a heart attack. Yep. He was in his driveway and he was struggling to breathe. And I was like, what's going on? I was clutching his chest and he was like, I have to go to urgent care. And I reached for my car keys. I was like, I will take you. And then he dropped dead, just right in front of me. Men hate when women drive. They just... Anything to get out of it. This did actually happen, and he was about my age. So that got me, really wanting to be on top of health stuff and everything. I try to keep up with my exams, my screenings. I have HMO because I'm poor. And the HMO, clinics is bad, because they're very understaffed, okay? So I had to go give a pee sample recently. And they're like, yeah, just pee in this cup, put it in a window, and we'll collect it from the window. But like I said, they're understaffed, so I opened the window, and they have not cleared out the window all day, okay? So I'm moving other women's pee around to make room for my pee. No lids. I know. Bad. Poor people, doctor. So I see everyone's pee, and everyone has their name written on the cup. And I just went out in the lobby, and I was like, I don't know who Amanda H is, but I think you should get in there right away. I've seen your pee, and it's not normal. It's not good. So were there chunks in there? What's good? Get in there. I try to stay on top of it. My husband's not as on top of his health. And I know this because he has a much bigger window of how much weight he'll gain before he notices, recently he stepped on the scale and he goes, oops. And I was like, what's oops? Did you put on 5 pounds? He goes, oops, I put on 27 pounds. What? A woman would never oops 27 pounds. We know exactly what we weigh all the time. I mean, all the time. If you ask us what we weigh, we go, what time of day? Different morning. And you ask a man what he weighs, he'll be like, I'm in the range of 150 to 280. That's not a range. That's a before and after story. We really like to watch Dateline. Anybody like Dateline in here? Yeah. A lot of spouse-on-spouse murder. A lot of times over the life insurance policies, right? And it's so predictable, though, right? They'll be like, oh, Brian, 72-year-old business mogul, was murdered by his wife, Tina, 22-year-old exotic dancer. And everyone's like, it's so sad. Poor Brian. It's sad. I'm like, don't feel sad for Brian, okay? Just for the record, Brian knew this is how he would die. Literally, when he married Tina, he was like, well, I'm going to fuck her for as long as she lets me live. My husband and I we don't have a lot of money, but we still got a prenup anyways when we got married. And I put in there something called a fidelity clause, and it says if anyone cheats, that person must move out of the home. I just think if you cheat, you should be punished with home hunting in Southern California. I just think that's fair. Recently, however, our financial situation has possibly changed. My husband might be selling a movie. It's very exciting. And our financial situation would be flipped on its head. And I was excited about that for a little while, but then I just started thinking about how money changes your life and brings new stressors. And I started worrying about all these young hoes who will come and try to take him from me, and then I'm gonna have to work hard to keep him interested for the first time ever. And every woman knows there's only one surefire way to keep a man interested, is you gotta become a little emotionally abusive. You guys know what I'm talking about. You just gotta pick away at his ego slightly, just ruin it a little bit every day for years. Then by the time the young hoes come around, he'll be like, I don't know if I'm worthy. I'll be like, that's right, you're not worthy, okay? Just get back under this duvet from Target, know your place. I made you. I know I talk a lot about my marriage being kind of up and down, but we actually are very, very happy. And I'm so grateful, because I'd be really bad at dating if I had to be single today. Bad. 12 years I've been off the market, okay? Do you know what that turns you into as a woman? I'm a feral animal. Feral. And I love it. Having the best time. I love not caring. And I'm never going back. I'm never gonna go be well manicured, caring about impressing a man, never, okay? If I had to date today, I guess I would, but I would just keep acting like a wife on dates, you know? I would just show up and be like, hey, how's it going? I know we just met, but we gotta fuck before dinner. I get gassy after, so. You know what's not fair, too? I've devolved into this absolute savage beast in front of you, and my husband has only become more of a catch. He's become more refined, okay? And I made him that way. I did, and it took everything out of me. I introduced him to the good things in life: meditation, quinoa, pants that fit correctly. Do you know what he introduced me to? Shower beer. I do like it, I'm not gonna lie. I like the shower beer. See, he's making me more of a savage. Look at, he's doing this to me. I don't really want to become rich either, because I don't want to keep up with rich people beauty standards. For now, like, I'm cute for a poor person, you know what I'm saying? I know my space, but I'm not getting anything done. I can't afford it. No Botox, no fillers, all that. And now I'm kind of worried those things have become so common that teenagers and kids online, they think that's what a face looks like. They think that's a normal face. I know this because I got this little mouth, okay? I got a small mouth, and teenagers bully me on the internet for it, okay? They show up in my comments and they're like, what's wrong with your mouth? And I'm like, nothing. This is a traditional mouth. This is how they used to make mouths, okay? You know, for the record, white women are only born with the bottom part of the mouth, okay? If you see a white woman with the top part, she purchased that, okay? God, Groupon. That's the arrangement. Know this. I also I don't really understand, I guess, like Gen Z fashion in general. There's like a very popular outfit amongst young Gen Z girls where it's like you'll see these 90-pound girls, and they're at these beautiful brunch places, okay? And if I was there, I'd be wearing a ball gown. I can't even afford to go there. They're at these beautiful brunch places wearing enormous sweatpants, bejeweled Crocs, and then like a XXX t-shirt, right? And here's my problem with this outfit as a millennial woman. They're appropriating my people's depression outfit, okay? That's ours. That's not for brunch. That's for picking up an antibiotic for something weird at CVS, okay? Respect your elders. The team putting on this show has been so wonderful. And I've been lucky to get into better and better shows throughout my career. When I was a little young 20-something comic, I had to deal with a lot of nonsense. I had to deal with a lot of creepy men, you know, producers, directors that would message me things. And they'd be like, hey girl, I just want you to know that if you would insert sexual favor here, I would help you with your career. And I always just think it's funny when men let us know that's an option, as if we didn't know. They're just sitting at home. They're like, I'm afraid these young ladies don't know about these opportunities available to them. We know. I'll say one more thing, get out of here. I appreciate you all supporting live stand-up. I love doing this. I love doing this so much. I think it's really important to do the things that we love, even if they're scary. Because I think people who have something that they love and want to do, but are too afraid to, they turn out to be angry people, They're the ones that start bar fights and things like that. Every time I see a guy start a bar fight, I just want to yell, just publish those short stories you wrote. Thank you guys so much. You've been a great crowd.